Hey everyone, here is a bonus episode of Faith, Flourish, and Bloom Challenge. I am here with my husband, Quentin Baker, and we are going to be just having a quick chat. I asked him to come on because, as you're on your journey of faith, flourish, and bloom, you need your support system to be right there with you. And so I wanted him to share kind of like his thoughts on the challenge, his thoughts on just the things that I'm doing, along with just some open chat. So we're going to bring you guys along with this conversation today. So, hey, Kim.
Hey, Bree. Hey, everybody.
So, first question, when I introduced Faith Flourish Bloom Challenge to you, what were your thoughts with the four categories and just the whole brainstorming session? What were your thoughts initially?
Um, Definitely needed for this time. It was also definitely more so needed for you as well. Sometimes the person behind the camera running the show, doing everything, sometimes it's more so for us or the people behind, doing the show, providing the content and we could speak from so many things, experience for one, and then just what we're currently going through. So I think Faith Flourish Bloom was, when I heard it, I knew that was it. And it represents you. I've always said Brie has a very bubbly spirit. She never meets a stranger. Anytime I leave her in a store, she ends up talking to half of it. So,
Oh, wait. Not half the store. Come on now.
which is a good thing. Would you say you're an introvert or extrovert?
Well, I can honestly say I'm an extrovert for the most part,
Okay, so which makes me probably an
introvert.
semi-introvert.
Yeah.
But over the years, that has pulled by no other than your host of Faith Flourish Bloom over here.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that it was God sent, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that. As he was talking, my mind just kind of fell on that point he mentioned that a lot of times when my husband and you all that's watching now, when we consume content, it could be for entertainment, education, or encouragement. And so I hope that when you are consuming content from this channel, that you are being encouraged, but also educated. I think there's some moments where you laugh and be entertained, but my main focus is to encourage and empower. That's my other E, empower you. And so I hope that you feel that in the episodes that you have seen and the ones to come. So with that being said, you said that you initially heard, you were like, yeah, bet, like that's God. You know, as a married couple, you see your spouse or your partner on their journey of evolution or evolving. You kind of mentioned it earlier when you said, oh, being with my wife, I am now more outgoing. What are some other characteristics or things that you feel like because of the marriage, because of the partnership, you have grown or flourished in that area?
Um, I'll say the faith journey, communicating, and just being a bit more transparent with my thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah. When I first met Quentin, he was um kind of like when we do discussion boards, if you all who have ever done a discussion board and there's that person who only gives 1 to 2 words, or if you're in a class setting and somebody's like, well, how was your day? And the person says like, fine. That's Quentin. But now he can give you a little bit more. He'll say, fine, I enjoyed it because I got off early. Like little stuff like that, little stuff. I kid, but okay. And I want you guys to know, sidebar, real quick. Quentin didn't get these questions ahead of time. So I'm just flowing. We just flowing. So you said communication, kind of like being more outgoing, and your faith journey, right? What do you feel that for the men? Like, what is your encouragement for men as they are supporting their wives in whatever journey? What would you say? Because you have supported me on a lot of different journeys. This is just one that has been, more publicized. But what is your word of encouragement to people that support their spouse? Because it could be reversed. The man could be on the forefront, and the woman could be that support role. So it reverses. But what's your encouragement right now in this moment?
The main two words come to my mind is prayer and patience.
Okay, break it down for the people.
So prayer, because definitely for men, um, it's not just, it's prayer is essential. But when I think of men and I just think of conversations I've had over the years, it's just not something we do first. We either worry first, we get angry first, or we don't pray first. And so that's why it's like prayer first and then patience. Because you're not always going to agree with your spouse. Um, but you got to learn how to be patient and wait for what you pray for. And even be patient as they navigate through seasons, new seasons, just new, and as they evolve, because every day something evolves within them. So you have to learn how to be patient as they work through that. And it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's sadness. Sometimes it's just an ugly cry. Sometimes it's a burst of energy and then it go back down. So it's just being patient and prayerful in all of those cycles to get to a moment of breakthrough.
Hmm. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, being patient through the process is a key, and being prayerful as well. And throughout the Faith Flourish Bloom journey, we highlight 4 points, and that's your faith and your gratitude, that is your career, that is finances, and also health and wellness. And so to close out our conversation, I wanted to just, whether you want to relate it back to me or just give a word of advice to the people as a summary, when you hear faith and gratitude, which was our topic one, what comes to mind? What do you want to share on that one?
Faith and gratitude. For me personally, when I heard it, I thought about my childhood. I thought about how I had to have faith to believe in what I did not see, the environment that I desired, and the things that I wanted but did not have. So I had to have faith in that moment. I had to have a level of gratitude because there were certain things that I wanted that were not your normal kid.
Mm-hmm.
Most kids would want your the newest pair of Nikes and newest pair of Jordans. Back in our day, it wasn't even that. It might have been a Puma or
A Reebok.
Fila.
Oh yeah, Fila.
So, that wasn't me. For me, I wanted a stable home. Like, honestly, I wanted mother and father in the home. Like, not all the separation, gotta schedule this, gotta wait for this one. Just so many rigmaroles. So, I think a lot of things stem from childhood.
Mm.
So you have to kind of rewind and rework back through.
That's good, Quentin.
So yeah, I think, and you have to figure out what is your faith like. That goes back for me. That's a moment for me. But what is your faith connected to,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you keep connectivity to faith? And then also with gratitude, granted I didn't have a two-parent home, but I had both of my parents living. A lot of my classmates I found out didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a way that I found gratitude.
Amen.
Um, so gratitude, you don't always have to find gratitude. Gratitude will find you. I didn't know a lot of my classmates had a dad that had passed away or gone, or even incarcerated, various situations, or just abandoned.
Mm.
So the same thing from a mother's perspective, it's vice versa. I didn't know that until you begin to see how they act out, or you find out later, man, that's what's going on. So gratitude in a way finds you.
Yeah.
And then you have to then accept having gratitude.
Mm. That was very profound. Okay, so faith and gratitude was our week 1 topic. Week 2 topic is careers. So how does that correlate with Quentin or myself, or just a word of encouragement to the people
For careers,
for careers?
with faith and gratitude.
Faith and gratitude was one, but our faith is actually intertwined through all of
All
this.
of it.
So when you think about careers,
Ooh.
what comes to your mind? Mm.
Careers and faith. This is probably my most challenging one. Because some of us are in careers that we love, and some of us are in careers for various reasons that we don't love. Oftentimes I see a lot of people fall in careers just because of the benefits. So somebody told them they could retire in 30 years, but they have no joy in it.
Yeah.
And so kind of like when we're watching a show, I realized that, having a purpose, the calling, and then the hobby,
Yeah.
and how it builds the whole person in their career too. So having faith in your career is, thanks season,
Mm.
because the career you may be in today may not be the career you'll be in tomorrow. And if it is, you may find yourself in an area of that career that you least expected. But it was necessary for the change,
Yep.
because you can grow very uh, mundane, dormant. You just do it in, week out, and you can do it sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it's like, okay, you're not being challenged. So if you're not challenged in your career in some form or fashion, you're not going to change, which means you're not going to evolve, which means you're not going to grow. So then you look back on it and it's like, what's the point of it all?
The point of it all.
So you gotta have faith in your career when it doesn't make sense.
And trusting God that He led you or is leading you.
Yeah, and finding some type of purpose in it, so you don't
Yeah.
have resentment. Finding a purpose, like I've done various things over the years in the last decade, and each role has served a purpose. I found purpose within the role, that met really got me back to the point where I am now. So even though there are different career fields,
Mm-hmm.
they all align right back to the central location.
Yeah, that's a good one. So at the time of this recording, we will be into week 3. And then of course we'll have week 4. And we're gonna come back. We're gonna circle the block and allow Quentin to come back to you guys and give a reflection as a closeout to the journey. But while we're in the middle of the journey, what are your thoughts currently when you hear the financial topic, faith and finances?
Uh, when I hear faith and finances, mm, you you gotta have faith, but of course, faith without works is dead.
Okay.
Which means I need you to have faith that you can see on the other side of uh, whether it's a repossession of a house, foreclosure, repossession of a vehicle, bankruptcy, just financial debt that's stacked higher than the mind can even conceive. And so in that, you gotta have faith because I promise you, I can connect to it because it won't make sense. Like faith is so powerful because it naturally, in the natural realm, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You'll battle in your mind with almost like, why have faith? It doesn't make, these are not lining, nothing's happening.
Right,
You
right.
find every excuse to not have faith
Correct.
if you allow it. And with that, you got to do the work. You got to have the faith, but you got to do the work. So for me, one of my guilty pleasures is Starbucks. If I know I'm trying to uh, recalibrate my finances to fit the lifestyle I desire and not the lifestyle that's holding me back,
Mm-hmm.
then I may can only go to Starbucks once a week. Notice I didn't cut it out fully, but I put myself on a restriction. So discipline, where it was average coffee at Starbucks is $5, $6. So that means I've only spent 20, maybe 25, 24, $25 in a month versus in a week.
Correct.
So it's just little adjustments that can be made um, in that faith walk with your finances.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every little adjustment counts.
Yeah, that's good. Every little adjustment counts.
But you got to be willing to look at your finances. For me, that's something I would not look at. For me, I have in the past been scared to even log into my account to see who snatched some money today. What subscription took it today? I've had a $12 breakfast this morning at Starbucks. Then I went to Subway, got a $7 sub. I mean, it gets to be a cycle that gets so out of control. You get to the pit and you're trying to figure out, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where you have to have faith to say, as easy as it was for me to get here, as easy as it is for me to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a big assessment and adjustment. And throughout the faith walk in addressing issues such as, financial boundaries, right? Making sure that you set those parameters. That's going to be some more conversation that we're going to be having throughout the challenge. And then the last category is health and wellness. A little bit of mental health, but also physical health and then overall wellness. Any comments on that last topic?
Uh, Health and wellness. So health, I tell you, health is really, when I see health, is about consumption and output.
Mm, okay.
So what you put in is what you get out. And then, so it's two parts to that. what you put into your body physically by eating or consuming is the results you get out. And then the work you put in to conditioning your body is the results you get out.
Yeah.
And I think it's the part where the issue comes in with health and wellness is the challenge is the big changes, a lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on, also for me, I noticed that what is the food connected to? It's the food connected to the stress. So dealing with what's the connection
Mm-hmm.
with,
Your relationship with food.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And your relationship with working out or with,
right.
yeah. What is the
What's your
connect? Yeah, your why, which goes back to your first point about being connected to your faith. Are you connected to Christ in relating to finances? Are you connected to Christ in relating to health and wellness and addressing those traumas and triggers? Because the Bible tells us what can separate us from the love of Jesus, you know. And it's a question, but the answer to the question can stem from self, us. We can separate ourselves from Christ because of not addressing those traumas, those triggers, not addressing our connectivity with Christ. And so I think those are all really, really good key points that Quentin shares. So listen, I don't want to give it all away because we're halfway through the journey. But I want you guys to continue to stay connected to Faith Flourish and Bloom Challenge. Continue to stay connected with me on social media, Mrs. Brianna Baker. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And what else you want to tell them before we go?
Just keep faith, flourish, and bloom. Take this challenge serious. We are about to end 1 year and go into another one. And I think this is going to be very pivotal in how we move in the next couple of weeks. As we close out the year, it will begin to show how we will open up a new.
So, see you guys on the next video. Bye.